All right, now let's try to reduce radicals that aren't square roots. Our first two examples had square roots, just the root symbol, nothing up top. Now we're going to do cube roots. The little 3 there stands for cube. It doesn't mean 3 times the square root of 135. It means the cube root of 135. I'm going to do the same first step. I'm going to make a factor tree for 135. Doesn't matter how you started. I started by saying 5 times 27. I knew that 5 would go into 135 because it ended in 5. I said 27 was 9 times 3, and 9 is 3 times 3. Now when we were doing the square roots, we were looking for pairs, 2 that were the same. Now that I'm doing a cube root, I'm going to look for triplets, 3 that are the same. So I see the same number written 3 times right here. So that's what's going to go on the outside of my square root. So I have 1 triplet. 5 doesn't have a triplet, so it's going to stay inside the cube root. So I'm going to leave it inside my cube root to get 3 cube roots of 5. And that's my final answer. Leave it just like this. Let's try another one. 720. Gonna make that same factor tree. I saw this one ended in 0, so I knew that 10 would work. So I did 72 times 10. 10 is 5 times 2. And 72, I said, was 2 times 36. 36 is 6 times 6. And both of these 6's are 3 times 2. So now that I have my factor tree done, I'm going to look for those triplets, 3 of the same thing. So I've got a 2, a 2, and a 2. So that's 1 triplet. It's going to go on the outside. I've got a pair of 3's, but again, I need triplets, 3 of a kind. So that pair of 3's, nothing happens to it. It's going to go back inside the cube root, along with the 5 and the 2, because they don't have anything either. So I'm going to get my cube root. I've got 3 times 3 times 5 times 2, all underneath that cube root. If I multiply all of that together, it's going to give me 90. So my final answer is going to be 2 cube roots of 90. And that's going to be my answer down here. It's my final answer. All right. Let's get rid of all this stuff we've got here. We've got the cube root of 8 down below. So why don't you guys stop the video and give that one a try. I will tell you, you might think it's a little tricky after you make the factor tree. All right, so hopefully you stopped the video and gave it a try. If not, do that. I make my factor tree. 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 is 2 times 2. So now when I go to get my triplets, I have all 2's. There are 3 2's here, so that gets pulled on the outside. There's nothing left to be on the inside. So the cube root of 8 is 2. That's my final answer. It's fine to have a nice natural number answer, just like the square root of 25 is 5, or the square root of 4 is 2. Cube roots can be perfect cubes. Remember, 2 cubed, you can check this in your calculator if you don't believe me, 2 cubed is 8. So the cube root of 8 has to be 2.